Well, today's gospel reading is a parable that everybody knows. It's one of the most famous of all the parables. A guy goes down the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. By the way, that road, what it does, it crosses the Judean desert, which was known for its brigands and robbers. And so, unfortunately, he's traveling by himself, which people usually did not do, traveling down that road. And the robbers got him, and they took everything that he owned, and they beat him, and they left him half dead. And sure enough, two people come by, a priest and a Levite. They pass by the opposite road. They don't even investigate the situation. They just assumed him dead. But a Samaritan comes and moves with pity and goes over and looks over and realizes the guy's alive, tries to bandage him up as best as possible, puts him on his animal, carries him to the closest inn, and then puts out some money so that he'd be taken care of. Most of the time we read this, we hear this parable, and we realize, well, Jesus wants to look out for the poor. He wants us to be kind. He wants us to be generous. He wants us to be compassionate. We know that our parish provides numerous ways to put into action this parable and other sayings and parables of Jesus. We often mention in the paper that we have regular monthly collections of food for the poor. And I have to say recently, those donations have been coming down a little bit. So this is a perfect opportunity to remind people that when you're out doing your grocery shopping, you can go to the dented cart, or whatever, but a few cans of beans, a few jars of peanut butter, some pasta, dry pasta or something goes a long way. And don't forget a bag of cookies for their kids, and throw it in, once a couple of weeks, and then bring the bag to the church. It doesn't take a lot to go a long way and help feed the poor. Now, what we usually overlook in this parable is how it began. It begins with a question. What must I do to inherit eternal life? And when Jesus hears the answer, love your neighbor as yourself, he says, you have answered correctly, do this and you will live. And the guy wants to know who his neighbor was. Well, Jesus lets him know who his neighbor was. Everybody who's down and out, poor, sick, hungry, lonely, and needs some help. So in other words, he's not just saying it's a nice thing to do if you call yourself one of my followers, to think about the poor. You have to do it. You have to do it because it's one of the requirements we have to do to really put our faith into effect in order, as he said, to inherit eternal life.